Do you own a business or are you thinking of starting one? Whatever you do, you need a great business idea to overcome the competition. Possibly some new cutting-edge technology. You need something that can grow your business exponentially. Something to blow your customers away and give them the highest quality. At Bully AI, we are experts in doing just that. With our user-friendly software, we create white-label technology for business. This helps your company expand and lowers your cost for marketing, sales, advertising, customer relations, and so much more. All this is done by AI-based software created by our team of AI bots, big data analytics, and a great website. And you know what? All of this is available on our website with subscription plans as low as $7 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now.
This is Dr. Tamia Guest with Rejuvenating Chiropractic.
This is Nara Reed with Modified Nutrition Health Coach.
This is Karen Marcel with June Street Barbershop.
This is Tiffany Marcel with Marcel Luxury Realty, and you're listening to Boss Talk Radio.
I paid the cost to be born.
Knowledge, integrity, security, service.
Get behind the shield.
The U.S. government has given billions of dollars to businesses in an effort to curb the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The government will begin to pursue recouping these funds in 2021. Aggressive penalties will be imposed on companies that do not follow regulations and guidelines for proper use of these funds. Criminal charges are already being levied on fraudulent use. Don't suffer again. Get a customized business operations success suite from Elite 8 Tax and Financial Services for your company today. BOSS packages include entity formation, payroll, accounting and bookkeeping, tax planning, tax filings, and quarterly strategy sessions to minimize your tax liability, increase efficiency, and maximize your profits. Make your appointment today at elite8financial.com. Get the guidance, tools, and protection your business needs now. Get BOSS. Get behind the shield.
Welcome to the Boss Term of the Week. This is your host, George Dandridge Jr. I'm your Texas tax expert. If you are tuning in via Facebook, if you are tuning in via YouTube, go ahead and share the video. And we're going to get into this week's Term of the Week, this was good, y'all. I'm going to go deeper on this one, but also, if you'd like to advertise on Boss Talk Radio, send us an email at sales@talkbossradio.com, and we'll get your ad on and promote your business and or product or service. So let's go ahead and get into the Boss Term of the Week. So it always takes me a second to warm up there. Hey there, Ashley Harris. Thank you for tuning in. And guys, if you come in and you're watching via Facebook, go ahead and give StreamYard your name and everything so I can properly shout you out. Be sure to let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in from, so we can shout out your city or town as well. And of course, it is tax season. If you are in need of having some tax matters taken care of, whether they're business or personal, reach out to us at 866-2ELITE8, 866-235-4838, or you can go to elite8financial.com/appointments and make an appointment there, and one of our team members will get back to you and set you up a portal and get you taken care of quickly. So today's term of the week is interesting because somebody says, call me when you get off, except for I can't because you didn't tell them who you were, so I can't see you until I get off. But today's term of the week, self-discipline. Self-discipline, and this is like the way the morning started off, because a lot of y'all don't know that I don't sit around and plan this stuff. Like, I don't write this out and everything. So that's why it always takes me a minute to warm up with my trusted cup of coffee here or what have you. But it was an interesting morning. Someone, a sweet soul that I've met and encountered in life, ascended this morning. And so first and foremost, I'm going to dedicate this show to Aunt Jerry, my son's great aunt. This is, she's been sick for some time now. And just last week they said, hey, she has 6 months. I think yesterday they told her she had 2 weeks. And then this morning she passed. And I thought about like my encounters with her and how I admired her life back when I met her some, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago almost. And, how dope of a person she was. And this has made me think about the self-discipline part, because I also got up this morning and I saw a post from my good friend Bernadette Harris. And I always tease her, like always, about being an overachiever. And so her post this morning said, I'm thrilled about my schedule today. This morning, I'm presenting a webinar for Georgia Department of Transportation on business taxes and PPP implications. Then this afternoon, I'm presenting a webinar for access to capital for entrepreneurs and Russell Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship on tax planning for entrepreneurs. Then I have 2 QuickBook consultations and 2 discovery calls. Then I have an executive team meeting for the Metro Atlanta Alumni Association. I'm living my dream. And I thought about that and I was like, wow. It's like, first and foremost, congratulations. And the exciting part about that for my friend is that she's living her dream. Because I thought about, like, you can't define success by somebody else's deal or whatever. You have to define that thing for you yourself. And she has exercised so much discipline and commitment to achieving in her life that now she's living her dream. And I'm like, yeah, that's more than I want to do on any given day. That's like 2.5 days of work right there. But that's what she has the passion for doing. And so I thought about the self-discipline. I was like, well, why aren't people more self-disciplined? And so before I got to what self-discipline was, I decided to let's break those words up and see what it is that is affecting people. So the first part of that was self. A person's essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection or reflexive action. A lot of people don't have good introspection, So another thing that I read, though, about self was interesting. It says the self is an individual person as the object of its own reflective consciousness. Since the self is a reference by a subject to the lame subject, this reference is necessarily subjective. I said, wow. So right from the door is telling you, hey, nobody can define you for you but you. But then I figured out what the problem was. And if you're going to be honest about it, it's one of those things that when we say it over here and we say self-discipline, it sounds like a positive, right? But the word discipline in itself has a negative connotation to it. Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. That's where people have an issue when that word is attached. Now, the other meaning is a branch of knowledge, typically one studied in higher education or mastery of some sort of a craft through experience or whatever in the discipline that was necessary to do that. But it's that negative part, that discipline of feeling like, well, whatever you're doing or going through to get to that mastery is in fact disobedience. But that's not the case. Self-discipline is the ability to control one's feelings. I think we did an episode in season 1 where we talked about emotional intelligence or lack thereof. Man, guys, you have to have emotional intelligence to have self-discipline, but it's the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. Now, in order to overcome your weaknesses, it's imperative that you define your weaknesses. Most people are too arrogant to admit that they have a weakness. Like myself, I'll tell anybody, hey, outside of your God-given gift, I'm just better than you. But at the same time, I know my weaknesses. Like, I'm a tech tard. I'm not fond of learning new technology or whatever. I do it to the extent I have to master whatever the objective is. Last part of self-discipline, the ability to pursue what one thinks is right, despite temptations to abandon it. It's easy to quit. It's real easy to quit. What was that song Quincy Jones produced? There was that line in the song, "It gets hard, y'all. Just act like you know." What's that song? I think it was something Boys to Man or something. It was on that compilation album. But nevertheless, moral of the story is it's easy to quit. One of my favorite lyrics by Juvenile, can you handle it when it's hard? Can you make something out of nothing? So the first part is, again, take that negative off of the discipline, of self-discipline anyway, because it's not punishing yourself. It's sticking to something until it materializes, until you master it, until you get to that next level and achieve that objective that you want to achieve. I had a manager once in my early 20s. I think I may have been 19. First day on the job, he said something that probably stuck with me because he said it every day, several times a day. But he said, little things make you great. Let that marinate. He was talking about self-discipline. The self-discipline of little things. Little things make you great is what separates mediocrity from good. It's what separates good from great. The people that, like Kobe, who used to, shoot a bunch of free throws after the game. Like, really? You practice all week, you play the game, you won, and you're going to practice after the game? But he was the greatest player ever. Now, you can feel how you want about that. Don't matter. That's my dog. But anyway, the moral of the story is little things make you great. And if you're being honest with yourself, everybody always talks about self-improvement. Everybody wants to improve. Every year you lie to yourself, new year, new me, this is what I'm going to do, so forth and so on. But when you get right down to it, you haven't changed those little nuances that actually contribute to your failure. You haven't adjusted your alarm. You haven't made a schedule. You don't make to-do lists. Nothing about your everyday behavior happens. And so you're not steering the results of your life. You're not really being disciplined about, see, results are the outcome of self-discipline. Results are the outcome of self-discipline. So when you look around at your life, whatever the results of your life are, know that the greatness of it or the lack in it comes right down to whether or not you were disciplined enough to go ahead and do it. And if discipline is one of those words that seems negatively, impacting to you psychologically or whatever, change it to asshole. Are you asshole enough to get it done at all costs? Discipline involves a practice and a repetition. You're not going to be great at that thing on day one. It doesn't matter how much studying you do until you get into the application of it. Practice and repetition will build your speed, your confidence, your experience, take you across those mistakes and make you great. But you have to have the discipline to do that. You can't buy self-discipline. It's of the self. Remember, that part's subjective. But this has been your Boss Term of the Week. We have an exciting show set up for you Friday. Can't wait to get into that. This was going to be controversial, y'all. So, ladies, y'all want to tune in on Friday, but check your emotions at the door, because we have some guys coming on that's talking about black male advocacy, and these brothers are unapologetic. So it's going to be hot. We also have some future guests lined up, Mr. J. Veal and some other ones. It's getting hot over here on Boss Talk Radio. So again, if you want to advertise on Boss Talk Radio, you want to go ahead and send us an email, sales@talkbossradio.com, and we'll get a packet over to you. Also, if you want to be on the show, hey, just reach out to me. You can give me a call at 866-235-4838, or you can send an email to the same link, sales@talkbossradio.com. Tell me about yourself, what it is you do, and your story in business or whatever, and we'll get you scheduled to be on the show. We'll see you guys on next week.
This is Dr. Tamia Gass with Rejuvenating Chiropractic.
This is Nara Reed with Modified Nutrition Health Coach.
This is Karen Marcel with June Street Barbershop.
This is Tiffany Marcel with Marcel Luxury Realty, and you're listening to Boss Talk Radio.